is big enough to give you everything you want. It is big enough to take away everything you have.
Welcome to the Spearhead Transmission.
With your hosts, Nick Brim and Michael May.
This is Spearhead Transmission.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Spearhead Transmission. It's January 24th, 2019. It's time to break those chains and water that tree. Is this the first podcast of 2019?
It is. It's the first podcast of the
Since-
brand new year.
Since Thanksgiving?
Yeah. It's got to be since Thanksgiving, right?
I can't find the set list that
I got it.
Yeah, but I need it. I need it as well here.
Oh.
Hold on.
It starts out as, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I like the one that says, I'm excited about pizza. Or the pizza. That was from 12/6.
So, it has been a while, right?
Yeah, it has. That was the last one we did. It was after Thanksgiving. So we did one after Thanksgiving because we said, happy Thanksgiving, I remember it. And then we talked about ghosts. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Makes me feel like this.
Oh, it's been a while. You have to make a weird face and sing with vowels. Wow.
Podcast.
Yeah.
All right. No, so it has been a while. We apologize. Holidays always jack us up.
We don't really apologize, though, do we?
No, I mean, I don't feel bad at all.
No,
But I do. I mean, there were a couple people asking when we were going to do one at the Run and Gun.
Uh-huh.
And then I felt bad. So, I mean, we were planning on doing one anyways. But, dude, what the? Where? How can you go to your Outlook? How can you go to your sent and it not be in the sent? Did I delete? Oh, there it is. All right. So starting out, it's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, been a while. So
Good point.
we'll get them back on here, back on track. 30 years running. Not going to quit because we're going to become internet celebrities one of these days from this podcast.
It might happen.
All we need is become like someone needs to turn us into one of those like Huffington Post or
Well,
whatever.
we can't be afraid to offend people. That's our problem.
Well, I'm sure we offend plenty of people.
We got to offend the right people.
Yeah, exactly. Women and minorities.
Yeah. But I don't really want to offend them.
All right, so I talked to a few people at the Run and Gun, like I was saying. That was last weekend. It was the Pawnee 2019 Winter Run and Gun. I was going to give a shout out to Eric from Wisconsin.
Eric, listen.
Yeah, he was really upset that we didn't have any lately because
Really?
he does a lot of driving and listens to us. So we appreciate that. If I had a sticker or something, I'd have given it to you there, but I didn't have shit.
'Cause it's an afterthought.
Yeah. But no, it was a good time. First winter run and gun that they've had here that had any type of winter weather.
It was cold, huh?
Yeah, involved in it at all. It was a high of 37, I think. I think that's what they said, and there's a 30-mile-per-hour north wind.
Wow.
So, what's funny is when I was trying to get ready for that, I did, and this is, it's what do they call that? Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy. Not Deep Thoughts, True Confessions or whatever. People calling
Deep
in.
Thoughts was Jack Handy.
People call in that radio show and say they want to get plugged in the butthole by a lady dressed as a cow.
What?
Or whatever. Here's my true confession is I did not prep for that run at all.
No shooting.
I shot at that piece of shit SKS twice with Al, and it was a 12-inch group at like 100 yards. Yeah, I mean it was that thing. So I shot my rifle the weekend before to check the zero, and I had to adjust it, and then that was really it. Didn't shoot. I ran. I'm always running, in a week or whatever. But my running, since it cooled off, I started running on a treadmill, which is 10 times easier to run outside. I mean, I had the pace kept up, but then a week before the race, I started like running less. Like instead of running 2 miles, I was running 1 mile. And I just did not prepare for that like I should have. And it showed, right? Like I got 13th in the 10K and 7th, I think, in the 20K. And like 36th in that com block bullshit. I'm done with the blunderbuss division. Like, I mean, I feel like a person should be well versed in handling of firearms. Like, you can't just be like, I can't shoot a Glock, model Gen 3 17 with a polished trigger or whatever. Right. Like, you should be able to at least function reliably, or be able to use something reliably and not just. But if I'm going to compete against other people, I'm going to use something that I'm good with, right?
Right. It's a tool, right? And if you're competing, you want the best tool.
And in the summer, I only want to do the 10K because I want to, I'll start doing longer distances if I can start winning longer distances. But right now, anyway, I'm mad at myself because I didn't and I let that happen. But at the same time, what can you expect? Hey, you didn't do what you should have done, and it showed.
Well,
and that's
it
why
would have showed for sure if I would have done it.
And yeah.
I mean, I would have been.
I was running on Saturday, and I was running down the road, and I saw this guy, this fucking goofy hat coming, and these big red shoes, and all black, and I was like, oh, I got all like happy feeling. I was like, oh, there's Mike. He showed up, and the guy comes by. I was like, that's not fucking Mike. I don't know who it was. He had like an Elmer Fudd hat on, and I thought it was you
because of my crazy dressing.
And he's like doing this, like no one can see what I'm doing, but when he's running towards me, and I was like, "Oh, it's Mike. He made it." But no, it wasn't Mike. Said narrator's voice. It was not Mike. He did not make it. But anyway, that's why I like those competitions because they show you. I feel like they show you where you stand as like an office worker that runs, 10 miles a week. I smelled spit all of a sudden
on your microphone.
Maybe it's my breath.
That's your microphone, so there's nobody else been spitting on it.
You ever remember you're a kid and you write on your hand and you lick it and wipe it off?
Dude, I still do that.
And you do the whole like, oh, it stinks.
Ooh. That's how I check my breath.
You lick your hands?
Yeah. I'll be like, well, that's bad. I need to go do something. And then I take, you want to know what I really do? This is disgusting. Well, it's true confessions. If I smell my breath, I take my pocket knife out and scrape my tongue off.
Ooh, I do it with my teeth.
Well, I try with my teeth, but it's not effective.
You ever gagged yourself doing that?
Yeah.
Like, how fucking disgusting can you be? Like,
dude,
what are you doing over there? Like, I'm just trying to get my breath to smell better. You know those people at work, those overachievers that like brush their teeth after lunch?
Yeah.
Those people make me angry. Like, what are you doing, man? Just walk around with
I'll do that, though.
Ass breath, coffee, and fucking protein powder mixed until you get home.
It's so bad, though. My tongue gets that funk.
It makes me, I feel like I'm getting bad breath right now just talking about it.
I had bad breath the other day.
But anyway, like the course itself, the Pawnee guys, they set it up really well. It was fun. They had a slack line over a river crossing. One of our friends fell in, went underwater and everything, lost his pistol. Fucking yard sale in the creek in the middle of winter. But I think overall everyone had a good time. It was freezing cold, and
it was cold on Friday when I was there, right?
Yeah, so it was 50s,
and it felt freezing. I had 3 pairs of pants on, and I was like,
"Yeah, I was on top of that hill. They have a hill on one of the stages." And I had to work that on Friday, and there was like no getting out of the wind. It was just standing. For some reason, I was just standing up there like all day. I never sat down because I was like, I don't want my chair to blow over. I mean, what sense does that make? I don't want my chair to blow over. I'm just gonna stand here.
I don't want to get it out.
But that was fun. Good time. If we can have a post run and gun discussion on it, maybe we'll have that on one of these future podcasts and talk to some of our buddies that did it. Kind of like we did in the last one. I just feel like if we did it right now, since we just did that last one, basically, right? A podcast in September and November, and then this one, I feel like we just did it. But anyway, it's a good time. I encourage everyone to try. It may be intimidating, but you should try one out and see how you like it. And that being said,
it's always good to see those people out there, though. Like,
yeah,
the caliber of people that you run into, even
the familia.
Yeah, what's interesting about it is that the people if you were to see those same people out, you might have a different judgment on them. You may not recognize them either, though. But
I still think like one of the best descriptions. Just that when Al and I are down in Pecos, and one of the guys down there, he was up here. His name's Dave. Al asked him. They were going to stage. I don't know what happened, but he asked. Al got his truck to move it, right? And Al called me over. He's like, "Man, look at this!" And in the front cup holder, there's like hundreds of dollars in cash sitting there. And that guy had no problem telling Al, who's got tattoos all over his arms and shit, and me from Oklahoma, that we know each other from this, but it'd be like me telling you to hop in there, because those.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. If I showed up at his house, dude, can I just crash on your couch? Yeah, dude, or Tommy came over here, or Brennan, yeah, man, no problem. I got you. It's weird. It's like I don't know. I love the people at them. Even though it is getting infiltrated with 3-gunners, but
is it?
I didn't notice it.
But
too
maybe
much.
that culture. Maybe the culture will be. I don't think the 3-gun culture will be. What do you call it? I don't think it would translate.
I think a lot of it's on the internet. It's not in real life. You know what I mean? Like the 3-gun aspect is more on the internet
and not real life.
Like people like bashing someone's shit because they don't have a Glock Gen 19, 17, 16, whatever. Yeah.
Double stacked. With
you got the automatic slide decocker? No.
That shit.
I've got this set up with the shoot 45 cal 1911
Turkish rounds.
Platform. Use the word platform a lot. It's a good platform. Got to keep your face flat. Anyway, it's a good time. There's no reason why our little party group or whatever cannot shoot once a month to maintain
It's because we're bitches.
Yeah, exactly. It is exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
What would you rather do? Put all your shit in the car and go out and run around like a bunch of fucking idiots, maniacs, and shoot targets and work out on the weekend for a couple hours, or hang tight with your kids and drink coffee, and it's like, yes, I want to do that. But if I'm going to maintain my skills or whatever, you've got to.
It's just like a tool. If you use a tool, you got to go out and
leave a knife in its sheath that gets rusty, right? You got to oil that bastard. We need to get oiled up. Is what we need.
Yeah,
but
get lubed up.
I talked to Al.
Lubed up.
Because I said, man, I'm going to set up a short practice, because
Al,
the judge. Does that. He's got his little course he runs out of his house,
which we need to make it out there, but
he's always inviting us to come out, and we don't do it. We need to take advantage of that. We need to say, hey, man, let's go out there, learn some shit from Green Berets.
Yeah.
Right? And
the
then
masters of the tools.
We got enough steel targets to make a short course out on that land down south, So I talked to him. He's like, yeah, let's do it in a month. So I'm going to set one up, and we have to run it single at a time. We take the motorcycle, and someone, grades it while the person goes through, and then once they pass a certain point, the way I got it in my head is like, okay, once they pass that tree, you can start the next guy, or whatever. But and it'll be invitation only, 10, 15 people or whatever. Otherwise, we'll be out there for fucking, 2 days.
2 days.
Trying to get everybody through.
And then what will happen is then we'll be like burnt. We won't, because then we hear it.
Yeah.
You come back and be like,
but
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, all right.
Because I don't do, I I don't shoot into these. There's a lot of running guns popping up all over the country, right? And everyone's like, "Oh, are you going to Waco? Are you going to go do this? Are you going to West Texas? You going, like, man, I can't leave. I feel bad leaving my kids that long, and I feel bad, doing whatever. So if you can set something up close to home, like it's just a regular shooting, like a regular shooting day, then I think it'd be, one, beneficial, two, it'd be fun, and anyway, so that's my plan in my head. But you know how it is. After every running gun, you're like,
get motivated for like,
this is it, man.
For like 3 weeks.
I'm fucking tired of not winning. Like, we need to. Every swinging dick here needs to be in the top 10. It needs to be you, just all of us. Mm-hmm. Want to be all winners, all from the front to like the first 12 people. Just everyone we know needs to be in that spot. And then like 2 weeks later, what are you doing at lunch? Well, I'm eating a cheeseburger. Are you gonna shoot? Nah, man. They got this new burger joint. I'm gonna try that out. Then I'm getting some acupuncture and massage. But anyway, hey, so today I read. I was looking for some articles to read. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm seriously. This was almost hot zone stuff to me, but
this is intro stuff,
dude.
Huh?
My phone ads over here say trailer wiring experts. This is the last time I was over here. I was looking at trailer stuff off your internet, I bet.
Really?
Because I'll get to this article in a second, but so last night my wife said, this fucking worst words you can ever hear is, my wife's looking at the thermostat on the wall. She's like, "Uh-oh, something's wrong." Like, fuck, what? So I go look at the thermostat, and it's set to 70, and it's like 65 upstairs. I feel like all I've done on it is fix heaters and air conditioners in my house.
That's that's all it is. That fucking ghost that you have is like,
it's a home
hot as shit in here.
Yeah, he's an old maintenance man.
Yeah.
It's like, these guys aren't cleaning the filters. Watch this. But so I go up there. Sure enough, I'm trying to turn it on. It won't come on. So I flip it off, flip it back on. I pull the thermostat off the wall, and the batteries in it are all corroded. I was like, oh god, thank God. It's all it is. Pull the batteries out, put it back in. Doesn't work. So I pull the cover off, and I look on the back, and that corrosion had got all over the
battery acid, whatever.
Had got all over the circuits and stuff, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta get a new." So drive to Home Depot, get a new thermostat, some fucking filters, some light bulbs, pick up a couple coffees, go back home, feeling good, and like, oh, man, it's gonna replace this thermostat. There's like 5 wires. Let's match them up, plug the bitch in, and I'm good, right? Back of my head, I was like, I said, this isn't going to fix it.
I hate that, dude.
I was talking to my brother, too, and I was on the way to Home Depot, and I was like, I said, the worst feeling I have is that I'm going to replace this, and it's not going to fix it. Put it all in there, turn it on, it comes on. I was like, oh, yeah, it does the whole, a heater like goes, I don't know what it's doing. It's like thinking about starting or whatever, and then I can hear it, and it doesn't start. I was like, what the hell? And it's funny is when you think about an air conditioner or a heater in a house, it's like a fucking thermonuclear reactor, right? Like, it's so complicated, but it's really not any different than working on a car. Think about a gas heater as gas.
It's ignition,
needs spark, right? And
fuel
and air. So I was like, well, the fan's running. And it was like, I can hear the gas. I was like, it's got this some sort of gas thing. I had on and off. I was flipping it back and forth trying to do the Nintendo fix. Like, turn it on and off. Yeah, something's.
It's not. It's just got to
need some spit on something. Like, anyway,
barely push it in there and snap it down.
Start digging around with it. I pulled the thermocoupler out and I cleaned it with some sandpaper. I put that back in. Pull out the other side, the igniter. I didn't even know what it was till I was like looking at it. Like, oh, that's how this works. Just it's like gets hot and lights the gas on fire. Well, that had a tiny little white crack in it, and I can
on
hear
the
it
ceramic
moving.
Or whatever that is.
Could hear it moving.
Uh-huh.
So my whole point of this was I was looking on my phone for how to replacements or whatever. Home Depot had them. So I drove all the way back to Home Depot before they closed at 10 o'clock and talk to the guy. He's like, oh, we only sell those online. We don't sell them in the store. So I left there like a defeated man, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's 58 degrees upstairs in my house. Go home. Go to work today with the lock supply. Got a new one, $37.
Uh-huh.
And I got on my computer at work, and I was on something, and the ad on the right side of the page was the fucking igniter for that air conditioner or that heater.
That one?
Yeah. I never typed that into my computer at work. I never typed, I never said anything. The only thing it had been on was my phone, and then my phone was in proximity to my computer. So how in the hell, the only thing I can think of is
Your
this.
email accounts are tied, though, right?
Yeah. That's the only thing. The email, that Facebook Messenger is on this. That's all I can think about, how it would be tied to it. That's weird, though, right?
And
Anyone that tells you that the shit's not all connected and not listening to what you're saying or not
They're living in another century, if that's the case.
This is gaining, and it's intel based on marketing, right? Like, ooh, this guy's been looking up I can't even think of something like grass clippings for smoothies. Start sending them fucking, this. But yeah, man, totally had that on there. Anyway, I got my part, brought it home, and it didn't fit correctly, and I was fucking around with it at the kitchen table, and I told my wife, I was like, man, I feel like I'm going to break this.
Oh.
Yeah, I broke it. So I've been lighting my heater with the fucking lighter, get it up to temperature, and then when I get home,
I think you could repair those, though.
They're graphite.
They're graphite. It's not like the old one.
I was trying to figure out a way to weld graphite.
I don't know.
It said something about flux core plasma. I don't have any of that in my garage.
Yeah.
I got a propane torch.
You know where you get that? From terrorists.
Yeah. Hey, man.
You
get on a forum like, I need graphite. Way to weld graphite. Well, what do you have?
And then they'll be showing up in a fucking Volkswagen bus.
Look, buddy, don't ask me what I'm doing. I got to fix the igniter on my heater. My piece of shit heater. Apparently, my heater is the builder grade nonsense they give you when they build a house, like the cheapest garbage that you could possibly have. But that I'm gonna run that.
Eventually, it's gonna be top of the line by then.
Yeah, I'm gonna run it straight to the ground with replacing parts on it. But no one fixes anything anymore. Mm-hmm. They immediately call someone, right? Immediately, it's like, oh, Peter's broken. Call someone. Like if I'd have called someone, I'd have been 100. I mean, I'll probably be there by the time I replace these. Mm-hmm. Which I'm gonna go to the store tomorrow where I bought it and just straight up tell them like, look, dude, I broke this.
Yeah.
Like, do some magic. Tell your people you got it and broken. Give me another one. But I don't know if they'll charge me.
Did you see my mailbox out front?
Mm-mm. Did you back over it?
No. Here's what we found. A note on our door said, "Hey, it was laying down in the yard, all the way down."
Yeah, back over.
Somebody said, "Hey, my dog accidentally pulled your mailbox over." What? I was like, here's my number. Please let me fix it. I was like, accidentally pulled your mailbox over, and I was like, there's no way. And it's basically what it did is, it's a metal base, and then it's like the fucking cast iron. Right? It's a replacement for it. $600. Yeah,
$600.
$600 because it's specific to this neighborhood. I was like, that's bullshit. Anyway, so what I did was,
wait, you got a neighborhood specific mailbox?
And you have to have that mailbox to live in this neighborhood. It's part of the whatever. I don't know. Anyways, so I go out there and I'm like, I'm gonna fix this easy. So I go and it's cast iron. So when it broke off, it broke in the middle, but it left a little hole all the way up, right? In the base and in the post, right? So I went and got some what's that?
JB Weld.
No, well, hold on. I didn't want to just use that. But I went to Lowe's and I got one of the, you know how whenever you pound rebar or when you put rebar in, you use the stakes, the metal stakes that you can tie to. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen those?
Huh?
They probably don't use those there, but like if you're doing like concrete, you're supposed to use those metal stakes. They're like that big around, that long.
The concrete sticks with the nail holes in them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what is that what they're called? Concrete stakes? I don't know. Well, so I bought one of those and I hammered it down into the concrete just enough.
Straight through your irrigation.
No. I hammered it down just enough and then slammed the mailbox post down on top of it where it's, but it sits like this. I got some of that like 5-minute epoxy. Mm-hmm. Put it on there. That shit didn't work. I didn't do it right. I was trying to do it when it was fucking freezing out, and so I'm gonna go out and clear it off. But what I'll end up doing, I think what I'm gonna do is get some of that expanding foam.
Yeah, dude, this is a complete rig.
and I'm not gonna pay $600 to have this whole thing done.
Either.
I'm gonna get some expanding foam, put that stake in place, right? Spray that expanding foam, and just put like a 35-pound weight in the mailbox so it can't come up out, and then just let it do its thing. It'll hold in place.
Mailbox or post office can come by. The mailbox is 12 feet in the air with a pillar of foam underneath it. Like, yeah, put a whole can of expanding foam in there. That's awesome.
I was thinking then I was going to cut it off and then I'll just JB weld that around it. You can't tell when you look at it, even right now, but it's sitting cockeyed right now.
It drives you nuts.
Well, I straighten it up every day when I get home, and then when I come home the next day, the mail person's got it cockeyed and twisted. Put
a note on there. Be gentle with this.
Don't fuck with this mailbox.
Fucking foam in it. I felt good about myself because I resoldered my control board on my garage door opener.
And it worked?
Yeah, fuck yeah, it worked. I felt like a rocket scientist.
Dude, it's always good when you win like that.
Yeah, it's not I'm not one at the furnace right now, but yeah, my wife's like, hey, the garage door. I mean, it must be nice to be a woman because all you do is say, hey, shit's broken. I didn't look at it. I didn't try to fix it. It's fucked up.
It's your job.
You got
Why
it.
is that?
I don't.
I assume that role automatically.
I don't get up at night and nurse my daughter, so I guess that's the payoff. Like,
neither does my wife.
Yeah, fucking heater's broken. You got to do something. Like, it's going to be a gigantic fucking pain in the ass. Shit's going to be breaking. Going to get electrocuted a few times.
Mm-hmm. You're going to run into disappointment.
Yeah. Let me hook these wires up. Oh, that's not right. Oh yeah. Oh, that was right. I had the power turned off completely. That, like.
But then you're like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then it doesn't fucking work, and you're like, oh.
Put everything back up. Oh, he left the screwdriver in the, take everything back out. But
I'm glad that doesn't just happen to me.
So she told me garage door's not working. So I got it to close that morning by just holding the button down. And then that night, I got pissed off and I hit it with a broom a few times. Mm-hmm. That didn't help it. And it didn't work at all. It was making a funny noise. So I took the fucking thing completely apart. Uh-huh. And I'm up there plugging it in and unplugging it. I can hear it going. And I'm plugging it in. I'm like, where's that coming from? And I'm touching shit on it. Like, I'm going to get electrocuted, because like, I got to find out where this noise is coming from. Well, it was a transformer on it.
Uh-huh. It was loose? Is all it was?
No, I don't know. So I started looking around, and the lights are off in the garage. And when I'm plugging in, I can see this little blue arc on the board, right? And I was like, huh, that's funny. So I turned the lights on, and I can see that the solder where that was arcing is gone.
So it was just sitting in there loose.
Hook up the soldering gun, and I filled that little hole up with solder, and I found a couple others, and I filled those up, and I cleaned something else and put it back up. Turn it on. It was like, dude.
That's sweet.
I was expecting to go tell my wife, like, this her pants hit the ground, but she's like, oh, good. Like,
sploosh.
Dude, fucking garage door was like $150, not to mention installing it or whatever. Like, I just saw it. People in the fucking, it's 2019. Only dorks have a soldering iron, right?
There's one in that closet.
Yeah. I mean, No one does shit like that anymore. I'm like basically, what's his name? Not you, useless Grant. Who's the
Grant.
Who's the guy? Yeah, Hugh Grant, the guy that invented electricity. But it is fixed. I don't know the whole point. I got totally sidetracked on the.
No, this.
But the
When you win like that, that's good because those don't. They don't come.
The HVAC saga continues tomorrow because I got to go back, replace the part, and then hopefully take that home and get it installed without breaking it. And it's still the chance. There's still that chance that I'm gonna put that in there, and it's not gonna work. Even though tonight when I was like, because I was a little worried.
Yeah, but if you're lighting it by hand,
I was a little worried. I was like, what if there's not power getting to that for some reason? So when I was waiting to turn the heater on, I got my little voltage tester. Yeah. I wonder how long I can take 120. See if it can just blast me into the wall. But I put my little voltage tester up to it, and it didn't have shit. And then when I heard it click, and it's so it's getting power. It just needs. I need some welded graphite
flux core.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway,
what kind of terrorists were those in Back to the Future?
Racist ones. Everyone knows terrorists aren't Arab. Think about that. You know they're supposed. You know, remember that movie True Lies?
Yeah,
I love that movie.
That guy's not even. That guy's.
He plays a Mexican.
Indian.
Is he Indian?
He plays
the Mexican in Training Day, right? Hey, vato. What's fucked up, Holmes?
Yeah.
You come to my house? What? That's that dude, right? Smiley. See, I can remember shit like that. His name's Smiley, right? Anyway,
there's two terrorists in that one, right? In True Lies.
Yeah. Well, the main one's that
the
dude.
older guy, right?
Huh? Older guy. No, it's a younger guy.
I think we're thinking two. No, I've got it.
Bata resistes. Anyway, True Lies. I love that movie. It's one of those movies. Like if it's on, like No Country for Old Men. If that movie's on, I'm gonna end up watching it. Training Day. If that movie's on, I'm gonna end up watching it. True Lies. I'm gonna watch it. Well, there's supposed to be a second one, but it was gonna come out like after 9/11, and
it was.
Yeah, and I guess I don't even know what group that is. The Arab group of America said that it was offensive to Arabs to show them as terrorists. I'm not like, dude, you know, if you're gonna make a movie about school shootings, it's not like you're gonna pick, people from Uganda as the lead.
This guy doesn't. Keep going.
You're gonna pick white people, right?
Mm-hmm. I think you got the wrong guy. Art Malik is the guy that.
There's no way that dude's name's Art.
Yeah, he's Indian.
What?
Yeah, that's not the guy from Training Day.
Let me find it. Pause the
podcast. Hey, it's all right. We're all right.
Yeah, dude's name is Smiley. What's his Cliff Curtis.
Yeah, let me see your guy. I know who you're thinking of. Yeah, no, that's not Art Malik.
Oh, well, I always thought they were the same person.
That's Art Malik.
Yeah, they got dark skin. Yeah, they all look the same.
Hey, pig, you ever had your shit pushed in? Your shit pushed in. Simple. Listen to me. That girl is being raped.
No, I went to every class. Why?
I heard different.
Nuh-uh.
Cops talk to you today?
That's crazy.
I like that guy in that plays the Mexican.
I know you don't click on any. Yeah, I do too. Clicking on any of the links I send in the group text, but this, I don't know who this is, but this music's awesome.
Which one?
Oh
wait, the video game that you showed me. Yeah, that song is
Sabaton.
I watched it.
Runa Impuri.
I did watch it.
This is what I imagine comes on when I'm in the weight room. I'm gonna fast forward to the. It's good.
Yeah.
I think this is Slavic music.
Slavic. So I found something out about Slavic people.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't remember now. I found out yesterday about it.
Profound.
Oh, Slavic people didn't have a written language forever. Wait, no, that's Estonians. I got them. Never mind. I got them confused.
All right, well, back to my original thing before I got completely sidetracked on home improvement projects. So this is on from Life. I don't know if HuffPost Parenting.
Is this the air safety one?
No, skip that one. It's boring. The government shutdown is apparently, according to HuffPost, is causing all kinds of unsafe air travel. We got to ask Greg if that's true.
Greg.
I don't want to say his name.
Oh, Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, man, are planes about to hit each other?
We need to have a code. We'll call him Garg. That way people don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Garg.
No one will ever know now. Hey, Greg. I mean, Garg. Anyway, have him and ask him. But all right, so this says period parties are smashing the stigma of menstruation.
What?
Many parents are throwing. I don't know how to say that word.
Why is Bert Kreischer? What?
Monarchy?
Where?
Many parents are throwing malarkey celebrations for their daughters. The comedian Bert Kreischer shared an entertaining story while appearing on Conan. The topic was his daughter's period party. His young daughter first started her period. She asked him to pick up some supplies for her period party.
What the fuck?
She responded to his initial confusion by noting that all the girls are throwing them and instructed him to buy red velvet cake and icing to decorate it with the name of her period. The dad quickly got on board. I had the best time of my life. I got beet juice, pomegranate juice, pasta with marinara, ketchup and fries, red velvet cake, red wine. It was awesome. I hope to God to hear it in a positive manner. And your fathers I hope to God you hear it in a positive manner and you fathers get to throw your daughter a period party. Even when growing up in middle school, I don't remember being all blown away by girls that started their period. But there's pictures on here from people's Twitter. This Autumn lady,
oh yeah,
got a picture of her kid giving a thumbs up. It says they got a red and white cake that says congrats on your period. Can you imagine giving your daughter a cake that says congrats on your period?
I mean,
I love the way the people are trying to make this seem like it's just a natural body function. They're like so is taking a shit, right? Or piss or sweating or farting. Like, hey, you know what?
Congrats on your farting.
Congrats to you. Like, why would you?
I think what it is, it's people taking things to the next level. So trying to handle a subject matter that normally, right, in a normal or not in a normal family, but I would say in a majority of families, right? Because how do we talk about sex to our kids? It's always this weird. I don't understand why it's got to be weird. Number one, right?
Yeah.
If you talk to your kids like the people, and you're not you're number one, you're their protector, their lover, and their teacher, right? You love them, you protect them, and you teach them. And in this, it's a normal thing, right? But it doesn't need to be overcompensated for, right? Like, oh God, what are we gonna do about it? Well, let's throw a fucking party, a keg party for this period party. I don't know. It seems like, I guess you can do it if you want, but
it doesn't make sense at all. I don't understand why. So this is what I think a big problem with everything is now. It's you want to throw your daughter a period party, fine, right?
Right.
What the fuck you putting it on Twitter just so people can see how fucking, progressive you are? Look, in this house we invite periods, we celebrate periods. This is a proud woman moment. Dude, no one fucking cares.
Is that what they do in like quinceañeras and all that stuff? Is that what
It's
that's
not a
celebrating?
period.
What do they? That's
That's
like they're
what-
16, right?
You sit here and you shut your mouth. Why, this is going to the next level. You got that?
That's what people are taking it to.
Yeah.
The next level. You know who that is?
Yeah, that was Sly Stallone.
You sit here and you shut your mouth. Why, this is going to the next level. You
Is
got
it?
that?
Is that Cobra?
Next level, what is that, a catchphrase or something? Catchphrase?
Jack.
That's it's from Get Carter.
Oh,
It's a good movie. It's an
I've
underrated.
only seen that movie 2 times.
It's an underrated Stallone movie. I like the suits he wears in it,
Yeah,
and that movie is good. I think, but
it's not ever on.
no, I got on DVD. If those are DVD is like done. Everything's
I asked
digital.
my daughter if she knows what a DVD is. She said, "Yeah, it's round. It's like a donut." That was like she goes,
Perfect.
"Yeah."
Anyway, this just reminds me of people feeding the homeless and recording it. Like, hey, look at me! Look what I'm doing! I'm celebrating my daughter's period. Like, great. It doesn't have to be out there. You know, like
Yeah,
do
yes, I agree.
do you seriously? I mean, I'm not a woman for one, but
There's no harm.
like do people do women? All right, if we have women listeners that feel strongly about this, do you actually feel like people are shunning you because you know what I mean? Like anyone I know is on their period, it's like
whatever.
someone's got indigestion, you know? Like,
Well,
oh, that sucks, huh?
yeah,
You know?
yeah. No, I think as far as that goes, like there's no problem with like moms being like, hey, or dads or whatever being like, hey, you want to? I know it's weird, or it's changing. We go eat. But not being like, hey, guess
Look,
what? We're going to Hideaway. And
We're going to drink tomato juice because you're bleeding out of your body. It's symbolic of something. Dude, I'm telling you, American culture is complete and utter shit now because it's stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's just complete garbage, in my opinion. IMHO, or IMHO, in my humble.
I'm ho.
I'm ho.
I'm
in
ho.
my humble opinion.
Did you read my text last night?
Yeah, it was coming in wrong order.
What?
I think, or it just didn't make sense.
What? No, that was good. I thought.
People waiting while we're reading text. You said, do the people from the Middle East call themselves Middle Easterners? That would seem strange if they did, or do they call people in the U.S. Easterners? And then there's a picture it says sex robot. So what are we? And then me, it says hitting the reset button.
Yeah.
Then you said exactly. I think I know how to eliminate wars. And then someone said impossible.
Yeah, I just left it at that.
All right, let's go a hot zone.
Okay.
All right, hot zone. Even though we've been hot zoning it, this bullshit this whole time. So this first article comes from the Huffington Post. So the government shutdown's been going on for 32 days as of today, right?
33 now.
33.
Yeah.
This may piss off a lot of people, but when I'm reading this, right, this article says the shutdown could have long-term mental health consequences for workers. Sleepless nights, anxiety, and more are plaguing federal employees as they go without their second paycheck. What's the deal with that? Like, say
Say you work at the TSA.
yeah. If I didn't get paid, I'd fucking leave.
Well, but they told them. I think if they told you, hey, you know, we can't pay you right now, but promising you something on the other side.
If I was TSA, I'd be like, you may not be able to pay me right now, but Arby's can, and I'm going to go down there and get a fucking job at Arby's.
Okay, perfect.
You know what I mean?
That's how I think too.
And and if you want to keep me, you guys can figure out a way to pay, But they're going a month now without, or the second paycheck without paying. But these people, this 42-year-old woman, or no, man, woman, Les, begins to cry. She describes how the shutdown has affected her and her 10-year-old son. She's behind on her mortgage, car, and utility bills. It's been 1 month. How are you behind after 1 month? This is something I want to talk about. So
people don't plan.
Yeah, this is gonna make me feel bad, but okay, you're behind on your mortgage, your car payment, and if saying this is true, and utility bills because you haven't been paid in 2 weeks. While she has a rage to pay some bills later, she's worried about how her credit will be affected by the delays. She applied for public assistance to get $250 in food assistance, but still hasn't received anything for the month of January and isn't sure that she's going to. So this article just basically goes and talks about how these people are having mental breakdowns from not being paid. So like I was saying, like, go get a job that'll pay you then, or if you want to ride it out, know you're going to get back, just put that money that you took out of your savings, put it back in there, right? But the catch with that is like I heard a statistic the other day on the radio that said like 80% of people in America have absolutely no way to cover like past one paycheck.
Really?
Yeah, that's scary. So when I don't know if that's true or not, it's the statistics.
80%?
I think it may have been more than that, but that scares me. And I've made a few purchases recently because of this, because I was thinking what if this, and I know I'm fucking paranoid about stuff, but like, what if this starts a fucking spiral, right? Mm-hmm. You got all these people, there's people claiming that they're going to be mentally fucking damaged from this, from the government not opening these non-essential offices, which I'm saying, not essential. We've gone without them for a month. Let's get rid of them. Give those taxes back. Like, hey, you saved $200 this year by not funding the FDA to approve beer labels in Oklahoma. But you got all these people. They're interviewing. They're saying their cars. They don't have money for the cars. They don't have food. Dude, that's scary to me, right? Because that's regular people. So say if there's some kick in the economy and shit starts falling apart, and we start doing like Venezuela because we are spending more money than is that's even in the tax base at all, right? And the whole shit goes down. I mean, this is nothing. They're just not getting paid. Their money is still there, right? Like, you get paid. We just gotta do the dog and pony show here, open it back up, and then you'll get a fucking huge check. People probably fucking waste it because, like, holy shit, $10,000. Yeah, like, fuck out, instead of putting it away or whatever. Like,
they don't think about it like that. Yeah.
I got gold-plated Nikes, or I got my hair done with the, I don't know, but that whole deal, like this immediate, like that's the they say like what. The U.S. supply chain's 3 days away from, like, if trucking were to stop, there's nothing. Like, no one, I know not everyone, I'm not saying everybody, but no one is preparing for any kind of disruption of their everyday life. Like, this is my everyday life. This is what it'll be like for the rest of my life. Like, no, you may lose your job, or you may get hit by a car, or you may
tomorrow's
get cancer. Or the fucking economy may crash, or the government may. Donald Trump becomes ultimate
supreme
leader and decides, like, look, we don't need. Everyone works for the Border Patrol now. There's no TSA. No one's flying in and out of America. That's done. So where am I going to get my money? I'm one of the 800,000 employees that's not working right now, and just fucking social unrest or whatever. No one thinks about any of that.
Yeah. No.
I mean, that's what scares me the most about the government shutdown, not the fact that there's people arguing over if we should build a wall or if Nancy Pelosi is going to allow the State of the Union address to be held in the House or not. It's the fact that this country is so it's so easy to buy a house that you can't afford, get a car that you can't afford, or do whatever because you're just fucking swimming in debt, right? I mean, like, oh, I can get, I got a brand new 4-door F-350 Super Duty Ford with fucking heated seats and mirrors that can see in outer space and all this. And, my truck payment's this, like, but I mean, you hear it all the time. When you were shopping for a house, did they tell you what you could be pre-approved for?
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't even fuck with that. I said, this is the tops. I don't want any more than this.
They approved me single by myself for our house. That there's no way if that was my on my old income. Like,
on the initial income.
Yeah, from. There's no way I could have afforded the house, but fuck, they're ready to sign me up,
Yeah.
And I think that wasn't even the highest that they'd lend you.
Yeah.
But everyone in America is so comfortable being in debt, like operating in debt. I mean, the fucking country operates in debt,
right. Everything operates in debt, and that's why I think you become accustomed to. I mean, I don't know. I work in finance, so it's always in debt. Everything's in debt.
There's no preparation or putting aside for, like, emergencies or whatever. It's just like, hey, my heater quit working. Call up so and so. My heater quit working. Well, you need a new one. We'll finance it for you. How much is it? It's $9,000 or whatever. $5,000, whatever. Okay, do that. And you get your truck, get, TV, and just debt, man. It scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. In this case, it's less than less than 0.5%, or it's less than 0.5% of the population, right? Yeah. And it's spread out. But just imagine if it were so let's say that less than 0.5% was in one area, right?
Oh, I mean,
like population wise, it could be a spark, right? Like, as opposed to,
could you blame someone if they for
lost
whatever
their
reason
shit?
They lost all their shit and they couldn't feed their kids? I mean, you know what they're gonna do, right?
Yeah,
that's come after whatever they can get.
That's natural. That's where that's where all logic goes out the window, and people resort to that. Do you know what I mean? Because they, your belly and your kids' bellies.
Daddy's gonna get some food. Where are you going? Next door.
Yep.
I know they got food. How do you know? That's why you keep your mouth shut. Anyway. All right. Next article is Huffington Post, Canada. It says half of Canadians think the U.S. is full of Nazis, according to a survey. The Canadians didn't see as much of a problem in their own country. When you think of Canada, what do you think of?
I just think of weird accents.
Weird accents, people riding around on mooses and snowmobiles. You know what I mean? If you talk to people in Canada and said, hey, what do you know about Oklahoma? If they knew what it was, they'd probably say, places like there's no roads, there's Indians, people riding around on horses. Why the fuck
or
is
hillbillies.
an article about, to me, so this is supposed to make you think like, America, you should be ashamed of yourself because Canada thinks half this population is full of Nazis, which the Nazis are from Germany, right?
Right. Well, yeah. National Socialists. Right.
But what I see here is this, to me, is the opposite of that. Like, Canada needs to travel to America more, right? Like, this is a one nation view. Like, everyone always tells you to be more worldly. Like, well, don't just think that everyone in Africa lives in mud huts. You need to go over there and, you'll see that it's, it's this or that, or not everyone from the Middle East is terrorists. If you go there, it's amazing. Well, Canada needs to go to fucking America and realize it's not full of Nazis, right? Like, you've got a skewed view of the rest of the world because you live in the Canada.
Yeah.
And ride on fucking mooses and snowmobiles. And say stuff like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, it says it's no mystery where they got the perception. Last year, a group of neo-Nazis received the red carpet treatment from U.S. law enforcement as they traveled to Washington for a rally. A respected Holocaust scholar seriously compared certain American elected officials to those in Germany during the rise of the Nazis. And Americans re-elected a white supremacist congressman mere days after an anti-Semitic gunman murdered Jewish worshippers. Dude, there's a rant on the internet by a guy over in England or London or somewhere over in the Europe that talked about the guy. He's like, you would think we lived in the worst possible time in the entire existence of humanity. But, I mean, we live in, like, the best time.
It's super comfortable.
Super comfortable. Like, you know, everything tries to be inclusive as possible to everyone, you know. But everyone's just walking around on social media and everything, just acting like...
It's a talent show for like assholes is what it is.
The Dark Ages, you know?
Yeah, it is. Like, it's a talent show for idiots. That's social media, dude. I'm so glad. Dude, I tell you what, one thing that was it last year or was it the year before? Must have been last year when you stopped.
Oh, yeah. I've been getting on my computer, but not on my phone.
I mean, it's done. Like I don't feel like
I
feel like my brain works a lot better now.
I don't interact on it, but too much anyway.
I don't read any of it.
I mean, it seriously is. It's just everyone everywhere is just. I mean, we bitch. I guess this whole podcast is bitching, but I mean, it's like I don't know. You know, you go to Starbucks and someone calls you by the wrong name, and you automatically assume it's racism or whatever. You know, or the fact that iPhone 10, you know, people were suing it because the facial recognition was like fucked up with Asian people. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you seriously think they did that intentionally? I mean, in today's environment, if anyone thinks anything is said intentionally, they're out of their fucking mind.
I mean, that would go against the law of business, right? Or law of economics. You want to sell as much of that shit to everybody.
You know what we can do? Let's make the facial recognition thing work on all Asians. That'll get them, right? You know, like... No, it's a fucking accident or something. You know, it's not.
Just it wasn't well enough designed.
Yeah,
they didn't test enough.
I don't know. It's just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's really a letdown, but I don't know. Anyway, Canada, go fuck yourself.
Well said.
All right, next article. Huffington Post. I mean, it's cutting edge news on the Huffington Post. Says man says emotional support alligator helps his depression. The 65-year-old Pennsylvania resident says his gator Wally eats chicken wings and shares an indoor plastic pond with a smaller rescue alligator named Scrappy.
Wally and Scrappy?
Oh, God.
Wally likes to snuggle and give hugs despite being a 5-foot-long alligator.
It's only a matter of time before Wally is not allowed on an airline, and that's going to be national news.
What?
It's only a matter of time before
because
Wally.
He's a secure.
These people getting on fucking planes
with
emotional
support alligator.
Mice and that one fucking lady that flushed that gerbil down the toilet because her emotional support animal was a gerbil. And they wouldn't let her on, so she flushed it.
Yeah. Well, see ya.
Yeah, she might as well have smashed it with a hammer on the floor in front of everyone. Like, you probably didn't have to kill it. You know what I mean? But
my emotional support
Squeaky,
animal.
I can't take you with me.
You mean so much to me.
Yeah.
I paid so much. I paid $250 to fly to Denver. Oh, well.
Like, I seriously feel like what is wrong with everyone?
Support gator.
Why do you...
Can't wait to see when he does. He tries to get that son of a bitch on a plane at 11 feet long.
Two future articles are a possibility here.
Yeah.
One, man gets kicked
eaten.
off plane for trying to bring alligator on, or two, man gets eaten by his own animal.
His emotional support animal. Dude, that would top it. That'd be better than the hamster in the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
84-year-old Boston man hailed as octopus whisperer.
Really? Oh, I see that. Talks to octopuses. Octopi.
I think he's had sex with one, like that painting from the guy that did the
Japanese.
wave. Yeah.
This guy, what's his name?
Hey, octopus tried to kill me one time in the oceans, in the Philippine Sea or whatever. I guess it wasn't the Philippine Sea. It was the
I know where
Pacific side.
I don't know. Wait a minute.
So you hear about that abortion law that just passed in New York?
Huh.
That they allow abortion up to the day before birth?
Damn. What the fuck?
Yeah. You see all those people, those lawmakers?
I can't imagine
So-
anybody wanting to do that.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
so
Like, hey, I'm going to take this thing the full term and then be like, all right.
I don't believe the government should tell anybody what to do, right? But I'm like that on a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't understand how anyone could possibly fucking. I mean, at least say it out loud that that's okay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think that
Like, why not make it? Well, you can do it a day after. Give it a day shot, and if it doesn't work for you, just kill it.
yeah.
I mean, you're one fucking day before that.
Yeah.
Well, what's the difference?
No, none. I mean, that's
Came down the chute. He's out of the chute now.
that. Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
fucking horrible, man. And you should. What's crazy is all those people that were signing that law. They're clapping and smiling and stuff.
There were people really doing that. Is
Yeah.
it? I mean, I can't even imagine. I can't fathom that.
Unless it's fake news. It could be fake news. I didn't look
can't-
into it much because I was in a hurry to
can't
put this
fathom that
together.
there.
But that piece of shit, Cuomo or he's up there. I can't stand that fucking guy. He
Look
looks
at
like
that. I didn't even say it. We didn't. It just the first thing I typed in NE and then it filled it in for me.
See if that video is real. That may not be real. I don't know. But I mean, the fact that you can have a baby within 24 hours and decide that you don't want it is fucking. That's rough, man.
Dude, I
think you're. I mean,
have to read this.
that's fucked up. Anyway, last thing I want to talk about before we get off here, which just was kind of thrown together because we wanted to make sure and do a
one.
show this week, but was that kid with the hat at the in Washington?
The
Have you
MAGA
seen it?
hat.
Maggot?
The MAGA hat guy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the video, but I read a little bit of that too.
So there was everyone lost their
Read a little bit
mind
about it.
because the kid was blocking this elder, and everyone's like, all of a sudden, all these white people are talking about, he's an elder.
Uh-huh.
Like, what? We use that word.
He's
all of a sudden,
chieftain.
yeah, he's an elder. And they disrespected him. And it turns out, that there's more to the story, and that these kids didn't do exactly. And
That the kid that was
standing there was
he was
just,
singing a school spirit song.
Yeah, I don't believe they're completely innocent by any means, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm sure they're trying to cause shit. It just didn't happen the way the news reported it initially. News reported it initially as the kids were causing problems, like blocked this poor innocent old man that fought in Vietnam. He was he said he was a recon ranger.
I'm a recon ranger.
Yeah.
I wonder by the time.
What do you think? Anyone's ever gonna say like,
No, you weren't.
no, like,
Oh,
what'd you do in the army? I was, the guy that, light bulbs everywhere? I
Yeah.
changed those.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I did. Everyone's special forces.
spec ops.
Yeah. Anyway, he wasn't in Vietnam. He wasn't a recon ranger because that didn't even exist. He fucking walked over to that group of kids. The kid that's standing there didn't do anything except have this dumbass smirk on his face the whole time. But like all of Hollywood's coming out of their shoes. Like there's some girl from Saturday Night Live said she'd blow anyone that would punch the kid in the face. Yeah.
Really?
Like, I mean, what?
How's that?
What? This is where we are. This is what I'm saying. This is where we are in America right here. You'll go out on a public forum and tell someone that you'll give them oral sex if they'll punch some kid in the face that you saw on fucking Twitter.
On social media.
Yeah.
The talent show of assholes or idiots.
It's just insane. And then they come, the other video comes out. The old man's starting it, or it's the Black Hebrew Israelites, or I don't even know what the fuck that group is.
I don't know, but yeah.
BHI, they're calling them crackers and incest and this and that. And, it's funny as everyone's like, well, those guys were just sitting there singing school spirit songs. Like, no, give me a fucking break. No one's going to be yelling at high school kids, calling them incest and invaders. And they're just going to be like, hey, fellas, let's get them with this school song. You know what I mean? I guarantee you there was some, hey, you go fuck yourself and whatever. But I don't blame them, right? Someone's saying that shit to them, give it back to them. But once that whole thing shifted, some people, like Jamie Lee Curtis, I think was like apologize for jumping to conclusions, right? Like CNN and the New York Post and all these big time media outlets did not even. I mean, that's what the media is.
They didn't.
Yeah, the media in this country doesn't do anything other than report. Like,
you know why, right?
Tweets this or someone said this. I've got no way to verify that's true or not, but run with it.
You know why they don't, right? So think about you know why you don't? Because you don't like sports, right? All right, but think about this. Did you like any sports? Did you like wrestling?
I like UFC, boxing.
Okay, were you ever partial to one particular fighter over other fighters, or is there a fighter that you didn't like?
I mean, kind of.
See, you can't do it. So if you're a sports fan, right? Sports fans have their team, and regardless of what the team does, you might be critical of your team, right? But you'll never not be their fan, right? Because it's like, oh fuck, I can't go to the other side. I can't.
Why is that though?
I don't know. Because it's an emotional tie to an allegiance, right? You have this allegiance for this team, okay? Like I was born a Broncos fan, right? Like, I mean, that sounds funny, but I was born in Colorado, grew up there partially, then grew up in South Dakota, always a Broncos fan, right? Like, and you form these emotional bonds to this team. Those media outlets, right? They have their fans. And guess what? Those fans will never, ever, ever leave their side. I mean, because they're emotionally tied to it. They're not watching the news for anything other than that. Dude, feeding their like, yes, and then
that's exactly why I listen to NPR every day, because it's comical, the fact that what's that guy's name?
Cool Breeze.
No. Steve
Harvey.
No. Anyway, like the guy, it's so funny. That radio show should just be like, Donald Trump did this. It's stupid, huh? It's right. Look how dumb. Listen to this guy. He says he's dumb too. This guy says he's dumb. He's so stupid. Look at the dumb stuff he does. I mean, that's basically what it does all day, right?
Right.
And that in itself scares me, along with like the fact people can't survive a week without getting paid, because I mean, like I said, a year ago, like dude, everything is complete opposite political spectrum right now.
Yeah,
like, there's no middle ground. I mean, everyone's saying like Donald Trump's got the government shut down because he wants the wall and he's not budging. I'm like, well, yeah, well, you guys aren't budging either, right? Like, did you somehow say like, hey, we'll build half the wall if you'll open up the government or whatever? No, you said we're not building the wall. So you're not budging either. Can you not see that? Right? Like, yeah, I think it's a dumb argument.
Well, what's funny is like all these people are listed as essential personnel, right? Or at least the fuckheads up there are the ones that are non-essential. Just get rid of them. Things probably run a lot smoother all the way around.
I don't know, man. The media, if anyone thinks the media is not biased, I mean, this needs to look at that instance right there. Like, oh shit, the guy's got to make America great again, and then there's all kinds of crap out right now in the news about how that hat is offensive and xenophobic and racist and bigotry and all this is associated with a red hat that says make America great again. Like, how? What?
It's just a fucking slogan.
Man, I'm telling you, all this shit makes me want to, like, if I could find some way to buy 1,000 acres and just live out in my fence and not interact with fucking people because everyone's dumb. Not our listeners, obviously.
No.
But, you know what I mean?
Especially
Like if you're so bothered by someone wearing a hat that says "Make America Great Again" or whatever, or the fact that the Starbucks cups don't say "Merry Christmas" instead of "Happy Holidays," like give me a fucking break.
Yeah,
like, dude, you can go down to the store and get pre-cut slices of meat, bring it home and cook it, and have pristine dinner, open wine. Everything's at your fingertips. You can have shit from the computer delivered to your house within 24 hours, and you're fucking complaining about the fucking hat someone's got on.
Yeah.
Or the fact that the kid's smiling.
This is a good point.
You know what I mean? Like, he could have knocked that old man out. Like, that would have been some news. Like, young shithead punches old man in the face. Yeah, that was a little disrespectful, son. He's just playing a drum. But he didn't. He's just standing there. The fact he's got a hat on. You don't like the guy's hat? What's associated with the orange man's hat? He's got the orange man hat on. I don't like him. That's bullshit. What are we going to for dinner? You want shrimp, honey? We just had shrimp just got flown in here 12 hours ago. We get seafood delivered to the center of the United States every 6 hours. I can go buy it right now. But I need to bitch about something. I need to fake.
It's well said, man.
Fake outrage at something and then I'm going to post it on the social media so everyone can see how fucking great and how how progressively I think, and
so everybody can tell me how great I am.
Yeah, when are we having our daughter's period party? So I post that up. Anyway, it's fucking makes me mad.
That was a good rant, though. That was good and a good point too.
Let's Costanza it then and end it on a good note. All right, so make sure and like and share our Facebook page. Email us show ideas at expertx@yahoo.com. Once again, it was great seeing all you guys in person out at the Pawnee Run and Gun. Good to see you. Good to talk to you. Appreciate all our listeners, our longtime listeners, and any new listeners we get. Help us grow the podcast by forcing other people to listen to this nonsense. And that's all I got. We'll see you next week.
Thanks. Adios. Muchachos.
Accessing your mind. Programming started. Thank you for listening to the Spearhead Transmission. We know you enjoyed your experience. Please come again and partake in our ridiculousness. There is so much more to explore. Remember, your mind is yours. You are not part of a collective. You will start to think independently if you seek the truth. Stop buying the lies. Water that tree of liberty, and you will break those chains of mental slavery. You are beautiful and heroic. Until next time, goodbye.